Hey, Tim Scoutelas here with Max Digital. I'm the director of strategic accounts, and I've got two very important people to the customer success team. So in this video, we're going to have a conversation with both Julia Easter and Matt Gibson, customer success managers at Max Digital, but they handle some of our most important customers. They handle our customers who have one or two rooftops and are typically working alone. We're going to talk today about things that we've seen in the car business that have changed over the last 24 months and get their perspective on what's going on. Julia, Matt, how you guys doing today?
Great, Tim. How are you?
Fantastic. Hey, thanks for showing up. Matt, quick question for you. Over the last 24 months, has the car business changed at all for you?
Quite a bit, yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. So tell me, what are you seeing from some of the dealers that you work with that maybe you didn't see a year or two ago?
I'd have to say dealers are getting really creative, especially with finding inventory. We all know we've been banging the drum for 24 months. Hey, it's really hard to get inventory. And a lot of those typical ways of getting inventory has dried up. So I've seen dealers go to, buying inventory through their service lane. I've seen them posting big billboards on the highway, bringing your inventory. And I've had dealers go to people's houses and, hey, do you want to sell your car? Things like that. So really thinking outside the box.
Yeah, people have really gotten aggressive when it comes to sourcing inventory. Julia, what sorts of things when you look back over the last 12 to 24 months about the car business, what have you seen change?
I've been here all throughout COVID, so I've only been here when things have been weird. I know a lot of people are going to their neighborhoods, to Facebook, things like that to find cars. They're also listing their cars on Facebook. There's just so many different ways, like Matt said, that you have to be creative to find inventory and sell it.
Yeah, so acquisition certainly is something that we've seen a big change in. When you look at the groups that you work with, the customer base that you guys help us with the most, have you noticed anything with regards to structure? Like, these single rooftop dealership owners, anything, jump out at you there, Matt?
It's big structure talking point is that there's really no corporate kind of guidelines that a lot of these dealerships are working off of. So, one dealership in the group might be handling things completely different than their sister store. And they're really just trying to figure out what works best for them. A lot of these dealerships, their GMs wear many hats, their used car directors wear many hats, their BDC rep might also be pricing cars or merchandising vehicles as well. So it's really trying to take a well-oiled machine and keep it running in this market, especially when there's no or very little corporate structure with how things are run. So I've been seeing a lot of that.
Yeah, people are wearing many hats these days, especially right, Julia. Remember when the COVID first broke out? It was some dealerships were closed and people were having to work in teams. Does anything strike you there as being different than what you've seen before in the past?
Yeah, I think it's kind of crazy when COVID hit, because if an office manager is out or a GM is out, people have to fill that spot in. And when you don't have a team of 50 plus people at your dealership and you only have 3 or 4, you got to know everything. You've got to know the DMS, the IMS, you've got to know everything about the car, the sales process. So it's a lot to handle when it's a smaller dealership like ours.
For sure. So as we look to 2022, any best practices that you guys would like to share with our client base? Things that you might have learned from some of your customers that you said, wow, that's a really good idea. Matt?
Something to keep in mind that's been pretty successful for some of my dealers is that they're creating their own wholesale revenue stream. So they may be purchasing, listing, and buying retail ready vehicles to other dealerships, and they've been supplementing a lot of their financial losses that way. So if retail, their inventory is kind of low on that side, but they can pick up a truck in California and ship it out to, middle of Missouri, where it's even harder to get inventory. They've been making a lot of money that way, where they may not have been able to, essentially retail some of those vehicles in their own market. So it's been really interesting with that. And, they've been using, ACV auctions. I know carsforsale.com is another one. And I think Vroom people have been working through that as well. So those are some really interesting tools to utilize as well with acquiring
it's amazing the way that some of these digital platforms have sort of pivoted or evolved over the last 12 to 24 months. Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So Julia, anything you would like to share with the customer base?
I would just say,
go ahead.
Same thing as Matt, just be open to new platforms on where you can acquire inventory. ACV is doing awesome stuff. I mean, you can get a car from across the country. I'm sure there's plenty of other platforms you can use as well to acquire inventory. So just be open-minded.
Fantastic. Hey guys, I really appreciate you joining me today. All right. Have a great rest of 2021, and we'll see you both in 2022. Thanks for all you do.
Thanks, Tim. See you, Julia.